The New Mexico desert is taking a toll on Extreme Pursuits Mark Kayser and guide Tim Semino.
This hunt is extreme in an entirely different aspect. It's not a vertical extreme. It's not a bone-chilling extreme like I find on many of my northern hunts. No, it's an extreme in the fact that the terrain is gonna rip you apart. Don't go down there with any clothes, any new boots, anything you want to come out looking shiny and new, because when you leave, it's all gonna be ripped and shredded. But you know what? You won't mind a bit, because what you'll discover in the desert are some big bucks waiting to be had. You'd think the third time would be a charm. It was. I was charmed. But it definitely wasn't any easier. Desert mule deer hunting, it's never easy. Like hunting in any open country terrain situation, you need to get high. You need to find elevation and use that elevation to spot and look for game. On this particular ranch, the high points were high hills. And we got a little added bonus because on almost every high hill, there was a water tank. These were great platforms, great perches to crawl up on at sunrise, glass around, and try and spot the big bucks moving to the shade for the day. And that's where you were gonna find the deer, does or buck. By mid-morning, they're seeking shade. They fed most of the night, they've gotten their big gulp of water for the day, and they're hunting for shade.
Whether you're glassing the New Mexico desert or the mountains of Colorado, good optics are essential.
This is a great spot to glass from. We can see this entire bowl out in front of us here. Now, when you glass, there's some very important considerations if you're gonna pick game out of open country or timbered country like this. The most important is choosing the right power binocular for what you want. Now, studies have shown that a 6 to 8 power binocular, that's probably your best choice. Now, I've kind of got accustomed to the 10 power, and the reason I like a 10 power is the fact that once I spot game, I can evaluate and judge fairly good with that 10 power. But with a 10 power or higher, you've got to be firmed up. I'm up against this rock, using my knee, and I'm just about as steady as a tripod there. Now, here's the other key to glassing big country. Think of it as a grid and use lengthway marks and up and down marks to grid your country out, and then use your binocular to go up and down each section in the same way across. Eventually, you're going to have this whole basin covered, or the valley you're having to looking at, and you want to do it twice at minimum. And here's the other reason why you do that. Game, they just suddenly appear. They have to move because the shade's moving, the sun is moving, and they want to follow shade, or they're getting up just to browse a little bit. So take your time. I guarantee you, if you follow these tips and spend more time glassing and less time running from ridge to ridge, you're gonna see some game.
Extreme Pursuits is brought to you by Polaris. See the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles now at your local dealer. Hunter's Specialties, for sportsmen, by sportsmen. Real Avid, true to the core. Nikon, the trusted name in optics. Truck Vault, manufacturers of the world's finest in vehicle secure storage systems. And by these other fine sponsors.